Some people are terrified and they're like, man, it's taken me years to like get on the starting line just to buy my first house. And then once in a while you meet other people that are like, man, can I buy like 10 homes in the next 3 months? Today we're gonna meet a couple who basically have gotten this conviction that it's time to get hauling in the game of real estate. And that's their question for me. Can you actually buy 10 homes in 90 days? We're gonna meet them, we're gonna explore it, and we're gonna see if we can get the answer.
'Cause we're gonna be legends. What we're doing here ain't just scary. It's about to be legendary.
So I've got Josh and Aubrey here with me today, and you guys are from, where are you from?
Connecticut.
Connecticut originally, but you also just bought a house out here in Utah in the Midwest. This is not the Midwest, this is the Rocky Mountains. We kind of have an interesting history now with each other because the house that you guys bought here in Utah is my house that I used to have.
Was your house.
It was my house. Well, let's be clear with each other right now, right? You know, my wife and I custom built that house 11 years ago, 12 years ago now. And you know, we were certainly looking for someone special to buy that because it's in such a special area, the canyon right there. Incredible neighborhood, beautiful people, and kind of a neighborhood of strange who's who's. I mean, you've probably figured it out by now. You've got, you know, billionaires, and you've got, you know, movie stars, just all sorts of crazy in there, right? You know, famous athletes. But more strange is we're just coming out of an event. All of our voices are sounding like this. I sound like a smoker right now. No offense or offense. And it's one of my beliefs. I can't offend anybody, even when I try. No, we can only take it, right? So we've just spent 4 days together here at this event. What was your experience like?
Oh, it was incredible. I know that it's not only helped me individually really dig deep and find out who I am and who I want to be, it's also been a huge impact on our marriage and helped us to grow closer together. Especially just today, I feel like I have so much more empathy for him and understanding for him, and I know that it's gonna make a huge difference in our marriage and our relationship.
I'm happy for you. I've been able to see that connection. It's really beautiful to see that intimacy increase in such a beautiful way. Josh, what about for you? How was the event?
Oh my goodness, absolutely life-changing, and that word has been thrown out a lot during these last 4 days. Life-changing, but if there's anybody watching this that doesn't believe that, come here, try it out, see what they're doing here. I woke up the other day and sprung out of bed.
Wow.
I just sprung out of bed, and I normally just kind of like roll out of bed, and I literally sprung out of bed and was just excited for the day.
Wow.
And the other day I woke up again and I wanted to change, I wanted to be better. I started having this flood of limiting beliefs and ideas that needed to be broken and changed and improved, and I rewrote what's in my mind.
Wow.
I completely changed my mindset.
Dude, what's up?
In the morning.
Powerful. Dude, I love that. You know, obviously we're here to answer a big question today, which is, hey, if we want to buy 10 homes in the next 90 days, is that something we can do? And by the end of this video, you're gonna have that answer. And you're gonna have that answer too. But it's been really beautiful to actually forge and create this connection with you guys. And so I'm excited for what our future looks like. So congratulations on your success so far.
Thank you.
So here's this question. How much real estate can I buy when I really want to go fast? It's a question that, for one, I deeply respect, because when I got started, I was in debt, I was poor, I didn't have money, and yet I wanted to buy real estate. I didn't have the money to do it. And it took some planning. In fact, over 4.5 years, I bought 25 homes. Well, that was really starting with, you know, even though I had some mentors, I really didn't have someone at my side showing me everything. They would help with this deal, they would help with that deal, and I had to figure out how to put it all together. Today, man, if I could go back in time, I could freaking slay it on those 25 homes in a year, easy, as a newbie. So there's some things that you pick up along the way. Let's tackle this question for you guys. So first of all, when you want to buy homes fast, there's rapid acquisition laws. And there's ways around those laws as well. So a couple of the options that you have, if we're doing like a game plan right here, option number one is, if we go to a bank, most banks will qualify you to buy 1, 2, 3, or 4 homes at a time. So if one of the banks said, no, you can buy 3 or 4 homes at a time, then you could pretty much get pretty close to those 10 homes in a 90-day period of time, just loading up and doing 3 or 4, get them financed 4 or 5 weeks later, do it again, 4 or 5 weeks later, and do it again. So that's one option that you do have. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that would be putting 20% down payments and doing kind of conventional financing. Another option that you have is you can actually go, and depending on your finances, I don't have the details, but you can actually buy homes cash. And then there's banks that give you a variety of options of how you get the money out after the fact that are a lot easier than trying to buy a home with financing. Because now you own the asset, they know that you're all in, and it's just a matter of how do I get my money out of it? And they'll do portfolio lending, as in we'll just pull out actually a bunch of homes at a time based on the cash flow that they produce. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
A third option, I'm full of options today. A third option would be use your credit, and let's say that your credit's moving too slow, you can buy 1 or 2 homes at a time. And so in 90 days, you might get like 4 homes or 5 homes. You're like, I want to go faster. One of the things that you can do is rent somebody else's credit. And I call that credit partnering. And so it's pretty easy. I mean, really the idea is if you know somebody that has good credit, but they're not really using it for anything. Because there's a lot of people that have great credit and they're really financially prudent and stiff and conservative. Mm-hmm. And the idea of paying them a couple $1,000s to actually use their credit and hold an asset on it, to them is super appetizing because they're usually in accounting mindset, I want to accumulate wealth, so they'll actually just let you borrow their credit. And it's legal, it's totally above board, there's paperwork, there's an appropriate way to do it. But needless to say, there's multiple ways for you guys to do rapid acquisition real estate. And this is, I think, the more important part. You know, we might try our best and find out that it takes 6 months to get 10 homes. Or we might find out that there's ways of doing it faster. The important thing to know is that real estate is really good at saying no. And this is something I want you to understand. We try a way, everyone says it's a yes, and then it turns out to be a no. Have you ever experienced that before in life as business owners?
Absolutely.
Right? And where we thrive is that when other people would be discouraged or disappointed or feel like I must be out of options, we just jump in and say there's another option. Mm-hmm. And that's what I've really been able to do. So we may not know the way, but I can tell you there are several of them. And as long as we keep going and exhausting and going and exhausting, we're gonna find the way to do it. I'll give you the news that you may wanna hear, you may not wanna hear. If I had to say, if 90 days was like, it's 90 days or nothing, I'd say, based on the way real estate can work, if you're gonna involve banks, I'd say there's probably about a 50% chance of getting it done in 90 days. And it might take 6 months. There's another 50% chance that you can get it all done. And part of it depends on things we can't quite control, which is sometimes they say yes until they say no, and we have to just be flexible with what that looks like.
So if we can't do it in 3 months, she's shaving her head, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay, so
right?
50% chance of keeping your hair.
I like that. Her hair is too beautiful, you can't do that. No, in the event we certainly talk about putting stuff on the line, right? Yeah. Like, if we don't do this then this is gonna happen, so make sure we really show up, right? No, very cool. So, do you have any questions on any of that?
I guess I kind of would wonder, you know, what you're saying, if we have the finances to go buy a house cash, in that case, how many houses would we want to buy to make it make sense? And also, like, what's the price range of the houses that we're gonna be in?
At this point, you're bringing up probably a really good question, which is everyone needs to have a custom game plan, an opportunity to sit down with someone that really is an expert and find out what is it really gonna look like. And for those of you watching this thinking, well, what's it gonna look like for me? The reality is, it's important to be able to sit down with someone that has been there before that can actually outline that. And if you don't have someone that can do that for you, there's a link below, and some member of my team's been trained to do what I do, which is my game of life in real estate is I love to put myself in someone else's shoes, even if it's sexy high heels, and say, if I woke up as you, what would I do? How would I go about building wealth? And if my goals were your goals, how would I make that happen? And if you want that opportunity, my team is trained to do that for you. You just gotta click the link below. They'll reach out and they'll basically do a game plan for you. For you guys, to answer your question more specifically, I'm gonna take some time to dive in and dig a little bit deeper on the answer to that question, because obviously buying 10 homes cash can also be a lot of money, and that might overextend the concept of the game plan. So understanding timeframes, understanding, you know, my filter is normally, what is the least risky? What uses the least money? What will lock in the best rates? and then I move from one strategy to the next strategy to the next strategy, exhausting them. In your situation, based on what I think I know, we're more than likely going to start by asking the banks if they'll do 3 or 4 at a time. Because if they will, we're going to be able to cruise, and if we get pre-qualification done over a 2 or 3 day period of time, I can have you under contract with 4 homes within probably 2 weeks max. 4 or 5 weeks later, closing on all of them, and then we would do the next batch. I think it's pretty safe to say that we could do 6 to 8 homes in that first 90 days, and at the end of the 90 days, at least getting the last batch under contract to get to 10. 4 months might be a little more realistic. Either way, we're pushing it, and that's the pace that I like to go in life, which is when something's right and the opportunity is there, and pedal to the metal, right?
Yep, jump right in.
Does that make sense? Any questions on that?
It's pretty straightforward. I love it.
Awesome, you guys, great. Well, listen, thank you guys both for joining today. Thank you for being here. And hey, just for a moment, I mean, you guys bought my house, right? I mean, how freaking wild is that? And then
crazy.
These guys, I want to drop a little bomb on you guys, like a little bonus. I always tell people you can put anything you want in a contract, anything whatsoever. Like it's like if you want to buy a house, you could say, hey, the old owner has to mow my lawn every week for a year, right? You could. In law, of contract law, you can ask for anything you want as long as the other party agrees. And so when they were buying my house, they looked me up. That's how they learned about me. It wasn't a YouTube video. And it was so funny that you came back and actually said, we want to be a part of your high-level mentoring programs. So here you are now at my event. We're meeting for the first time. And it's just totally hilarious, but also incredibly beautiful. I love how Divine Design will have everyone cross paths when we're listening to that inner voice of where we need to be and where we need to go. So I look forward to our journey together. You guys pumped?
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome. For anyone that's watching this video and is wondering, whether it would make sense to come out to one of our events, would you recommend it?
No question. Absolute no-brainer. If you want to change your life, if you want to be the better you, do it. Come on out. It's so much fun. It's so incredible, and you will never, ever regret that decision.
Thank you guys. Thank you both so much. Appreciate you. All right, listen up. Make sure you smash that like button. Tells YouTube that you should share this and they should share this with everybody else. Otherwise, we will see you on tomorrow's video.